Right. MPP4, listen and listen good. Ken Oforiatta doesn't care about the MPP. Montienie, Montienie, so listen and listen good. Ken Oforiatta doesn't care about the MPP. In fact, Ken Oforiatta doesn't care about the country, let alone the MPP. Right? He cares about himself and how he's going to be very comfortable with his friends, families, and cronies after 2024 December 8th, effectively after the 6th January 2025. He doesn't intend to be in government after that day. Montieni, everything he's doing shows he doesn't care about the MPP, whether you win or you lose after 2024, 7th or 8th December. He really doesn't care. So this is my piece of advice to you. Stop being stooges, sycophants, and bootlickers. Let's get people who have integrity and they want to protect it. I'm trying to pick my words very, very, very carefully. Amankasa Ethiopia. Look at what is happening in the British Parliament. The Prime Minister is destroying the image of politicians, both on the side of his party and the opposition, and the people who are being very, very critical of him are his own people, the Conservatives. They are being very critical of Boris Johnson because he's destroying the image and their own personal integrity. And they are not going to allow him to do that. They voted against his authority to change the rules of the game in the middle of the game. They've had it one too many. They said enough is enough. You can't have one rule for yourself and another for us all. One rule for yourself and the people around you and another for us all. I think Ghana, we need to learn from best practices. And the people that surprise me most are the people who live in the diaspora, who support. I mean, NDC power is the same thing. They say MPP more power the Ghana. So let's talk about you. You guys are the people that can push politicians to do the right thing. You guys who support MPP and NDC, and you don't live in Ghana, they don't put food on the table for you. You don't depend on them for anything. In fact, they rather come to you, your friend saying, appeal for funds. They come to you to raise funds for their campaign all the time. You invest in them. They don't even invest in you. Speak up. Speak up. What Oforiatta is doing is destroying Ghana and MPP Mukra. There are better ways to manage Ghana's economy. What Oforiatta is doing is very selfish because he benefits from it. His interest benefits from borrowing, and showing nothing for the borrowing that he's doing. Do you know what $40 million can do in 4 years? And it's not like he's borrowing, he's borrowing because he needs to refinance old loans. But what he's doing is that he's not even refinancing it. Do you really find out what Ofrata is doing? He's only paying the interest on the loan. Or Bokana to Homa Ichirima Ababitria, Ofria Bema, he doesn't really care anymore. Ofrata Fria Bempa probably will not live in Ghana. Muntieni, start speaking up and resonate with the concerns of the ordinary people. Stop supporting crap. Don't Bawumia, Yodom, go and explain, go and explain. Bawumia, don't explain any Jack SHIT. Let Ofrata explain himself. The nuisance taxes that Bawumia, you complain about the NDC, no. Keep your integrity intact. Stick to your earlier position that nuisance taxes do not solve problems. When you create a problem and when you create a mess, don't cover it up with nuisance taxes. That's exactly what Ofriata is doing. Ofriata should learn how to plan an economy. He doesn't know how to do it. It's not rocket science. Either a boyo, bapayo, share wickedness, because if Ofriata wants to do the right thing, he can do it. He's not dumb. He's not daft. I'm not going to say that he's dumb or daft. I used to say wabon, but I say it to get under his skin. But in reality, I'm born here. But I don't know it's sheer wickedness. He knows the right thing to do, but he claims he's boxed himself in some ideological nonsense crap that doesn't resonate with a developing country. You can't depend on the private sector and sit back and be borrowing and doing nothing with it. We don't even know what you do with the money that you've been borrowing. What has he been doing with the money that he's been borrowing? I mean, where? Show us. So, Minianum, this is a national crisis. NDC time, they're born. They were borrowing. We didn't see what they were doing with it. They went to the IMF, the austerity. Ofrata came. They are doing the same thing, borrowing. And now, look, MPP before their campaign say, I'm not really, I don't give a lot of premium to GDP, debt to GDP ratio. I think that kind of economic analysis is so much overrated. But that is what you guys use to measure everything. And you use that as campaign tool as well. MPP for Modi here, Trapia Damano, and a debt to GDP ratio is over 70%, 73%. Then, and this is for they are borrowing too much, they are destroying the economy. The economy is at shipping state. Then, Modi campaign. See, how much more buying debt to GDP ratio, it drew 80%. Show that you can exercise some honesty and say no. The same things that we complain about, no, we can't be doing the same thing. It is too difficult. Where are men of integrity in Ghana politics and around Ghana politics anymore? Are there none? And coming from Ukraine, people who you don't directly benefit on it, they don't put food on the table for you, they don't pay your bills, they don't put money in your pocket. People who live in the diaspora. Kojo Nkrumah can come and defend this crap because he pays his bills. Monthly salary, that's where he gets his wages from. But you, what Ofreta is doing is making Bawumia look like a yo-yo, look like a liar. Bawumia, unfortunately, doesn't seem like he's the kind of person that can speak up. Some people must speak up for him. In fact, I can see this as an agenda to make him look like a liar. Yes, I can see this as an agenda to make him look like a liar. And Ofreta is purposefully doing this. Look, You don't need to be a rocket scientist to know exactly what is happening. Ofriata is purposefully destroying Bawumia. It is so obvious. The very things that Bawumia spoke against majestically, convincingly, those are the things that Ofriata is doing. Making Bawumia come across, for want of a better word, look stupid, be called a liar, and come across as a yo-yo. You don't blame people who feel that way. Ofriata has no intention for any political career after 8th December 2024, effectively after 6th January 2025. His politics is finished. He's going away on retirement with Ekufuado. If Bawumia, you have plans to become president of Ghana, protect your integrity. Have a team that have got strong convictions and courageous to defend your position. If you tactically cannot do that now, you need people who can speak for you. Because it is so obvious that everything that you said, the most important things to do with macroeconomy that you eloquently spoke about, Ofrata is doing just the opposite. Increasing taxes left, right, and center. You coined the phrase nuisance taxes in Ghana. And they were nuisance taxes under the NDC. And Ofreta has doubled the nuisance taxes. You cannot put yourself on the line and defend the indefensible and defend Ofreta's crop, his mess. Allow him to do that himself. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. Speak about your digitalization vision. Leave Ofreta to defend his mess. If you have to speak, be diplomatic. You still don't believe in nuisance taxes. That's it. Everybody can go home and do their own analysis of it. If you don't support nuisance taxes under the NDC, you cannot defend nuisance taxes under the NPP. You cannot dig a hole under your leadership, under your economic policies, and then try and cover it up with nuisance taxes. You create a mess and you let the people suffer for it. You spoke eloquently against it. The things that you spoke about, we don't need to be borrowing. We have money in Ghana. If we stop the stealing, we have enough money to do a lot of things. What is happening? We've increased the debts of the country from 120 million Ghana cedis to over 300 million Ghana cedis in 5 years. These are the facts. We use things like debt to GDP to do campaigning, although I don't put any premium, like I said, on debt to GDP crop because I don't think practically it means anything. If you borrow and you invest the money to do income generating projects like huge factories in critical sectors, that is the problem with Ofreta. He doesn't know how to plan the economy. He's borrowed under his leadership. The country, he's had so much money coming through his hands. He's borrowed $40 million. You see, $1 billion. He has nothing to show for. He's asking young graduates who are coming out to go and be entrepreneurs and employ one or two, three people. The time that we factories employ 10,000 people is over. Who told you that? The man has no clue how to make economy flourish. He's an investment banker. He should have just stayed there and Go and look for cheap loan for investors and make profit out of it. But he's using Ghana as an entity, as a corporate entity, and investing and using his position to look for loans for Ghana and his associates and his interests making profit out of it. Eventually, that's what's happening. Come on. Ahobrɛaseɛ, come ahobrɛaseɛ no, Charlie, you can't do as Adankwa Dada do again, operator. But let me talk to Bawumia directly. Protect your integrity, number one. Do everything to protect it. That's the only thing you have. Trust me. If you lose it, that's it. Don't allow Friata to destroy your integrity. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Protect it at all costs. God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation greater and stronger.